This is the Election Bureau. Hello and welcome to the Citi Newsroom. My name is Tuffour Boateng.
And I am Zoe Abu-Baidoo Addo. Coming up.
Some electorates in the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency, specifically the Baoleshi area, transfer their votes for fear of election violence.
Yes, Miss Rose, another vote, you know. Me vote, I call me crew. So BBC who so I will call police station now. What's them?
Minority wants Speaker of Parliament to cite the chairperson of the Electoral Commission for contempt after failing to appear before the House to brief members on their state of preparedness for the 2020 polls.
I should express my profound disappointment in the inability of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission or any of her deputies or any other member or management of our electoral process from not participating in this exercise, that were duly notified that she would be here, and probably she must give reason to Mr. Speaker and Mr. Chairman why she should not be cited for contempt.
Meanwhile, the Commission has denied snubbing the House.
Still ahead, Progressive People's Party wants Finance Minister Ken Ofori-Atta sacked over alleged acts of corruption in the controversial Ijapa royalties deal.
From the report, it is evident that the Finance Minister exploited and abused his position for private gain. The Honourable Ken Ofori-Atta needs to take a long look in the mirror. For the good country, our democracy, our future, and his family's reputation, he must do what honorable men do.
And later, we'll bring you up to speed on the latest with the U.S. elections. Election years are usually characterized by political violence, and this year, 2020, is no exception. The police has announced that it has identified some 6,000 plus flashpoints or hotspots, if you like, and has also announced that it will be deploying some 64,000 plus security personnel. But how do electorates in these particular flashpoints or hotspots feel about the upcoming elections? Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency is one of the flashpoints identified by the police. Recall that in January of 2018, there was a by-election that resulted in some level of violence. Now, the just held voter registration exercise also recorded some violence. And so in this edition of the Citi Newsroom, we're going around some of the flashpoints to speak to the stakeholders to find out what the make of the upcoming December polls. Join me as we start off from the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency. So this is the area where most of the action happened on that fateful January 31 day here at the Ayawaso West Wuogon constituency, precisely the Baoleshi area. You can still see some bullet holes in a container in the area. We understand this is where one of the victims suffered an injury in the leg. And so we want to find out from the residents here if this has put any level of fear in them, if there's some sort of panic, if they are willing to go out on December 7 to cast their ballot. And so I want to speak to some gentlemen in here and pick their thoughts on this matter. First,
me 2 hours, but the SCNT made me vote in the voter.
I didn't know do vote.
Misro, seriously. Misro Intina me call a register of voter regi. And of the day they go vote, I'll go by my voter regi to go.
Who should say the see done in the business?
Bamis, a bit me asi. Because yes, Susa say a besina a see. That day will be frame a crampo. Me cram me free and do 5 minutes na the NC and then come you have me never say a besu miswana Betty Asiana Menziase. Me call me voting in your voter agency. I mean, no, Cassa.
And you know, Uber to Koyako voter this year.
Exactly.
By a hoon into own family, a cow, and the Yako voter.
No crime in Sro. But I have voted in Portidia, Miss Rupa. Miss Ro, because more security, I organize this year, and in fact, a poor mammy, Miss Ru.
Are you scared at all to go and vote?
Yes, I'm scared. Because I was here before the thing happened. So that day, I'm very lucky that I just left about 30 minutes ago before the thing left, and the thing happened. So even this year, I'm very, very scared to vote. But if only the security will be tight, then I think my heart will come down, then I can vote. Oh, what I would say is that if the time reached for voting, we are going to close this place to avoid trouble. That's the only thing I can say.
Talk about where we are now.
First, now me too. Yes, Miss Rose, another vote, you know. It just how stories in the corner, walk room, Miss Robium. And they made me vote, I call me chrome.
But your region, mate.
Voter region.
Now, Siano, as I see, almost some of my compensation, you will suck at
I want to meet baby Sam say here and made me see me to me. Yes, I want to name the Amoya intimidate. I can't tell. One more mammy.
I think not just December 7, Yadi Alberto about Paulicia. Now, our police will almost say, between your boy and home by.
This year, police for Casano. One my almost say, one more year, dear, United Society. Why am I be on his side? Into the SC or BBC who saw who call police station now. What's there was them? Into me, I send this in sources. I mean, found police station. They are met to me and may fight it for me.
So, those were the thoughts of some electorates here at La Baoleshi in the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency, expressing their thoughts there on whether or not they have confidence in the security services ahead of the December polls.
I think this election is going to be a peaceful election because based on what I'm seeing, the security system now they put in place here is very tight. So I think nothing is going to happen like what happened last time.
What kind of security system are you talking about?
Actually, I've been seeing police around, the military around. So I think since the incident that happened earlier on, I think this place has been a flashpoint nowadays. So they are going to implement the high security. And I think they have mounted some cameras around. So I think all those implementations is going to help this Ayawaso election to be successful.
Do you vote here in Ayawaso West Wogon?
Yes, please.
So on December 7, you go out to exercise your franchise?
Yeah.
Do you have confidence in the security agencies to see to a peaceful election?
I don't even want to talk about the police because I have a lot of issues with them. And even this traffic lights, people jump this traffic light. Every day if you don't take time, a car will knock you down. How much more you not seeing them here until elections? As for the police, I don't really trust them. But as I said, I'm only hoping that we will do the right thing, that we will not engage in any brawl or something. I'm only hoping for the best.
So those were the views of some electorates here at the Ayawaso West Wogon constituency, specifically the Baoleshi area. But the two main political parties have assured their constituents of peace before, during, and after the December 7 elections.
This constituency has been the most peaceful constituency, but for the last by-election, we want to tell everyone out there that we love peace. We are peaceful, loving people. So we pledge peace. And for all constituents listening to me, Ayawaso West must be peaceful, and the rest of the country. It's just election. It's just an election. Let's go through it peacefully, and let's all come out one people and one nation. That is what we are. We shouldn't allow politics to divide us. We shouldn't allow politics to create unnecessary tension for us in this country.
Whatever transpired during the by-election is a shame to Ghana and specifically Ayawaso. He's trying to redeem that image by his demeanor, how he talks to the people, and he assured them that as far as he's concerned, elections should be peaceful. And as youth as he is, he will not organize youth to foment trouble on election day. So he's encouraging everybody to peacefully come out on that very day. Come and vote early, go home and relax. During the counting, come and protect the vote that you gave to him. Do you understand? It will be painful that somebody will vote for John Dumelo and during the counting, that vote will not be counted. Nobody will countenance that. So we are encouraging everybody to come out, and we are telling the government too that it is their responsibility to make peace known to the people, to let the people know that whatever will happen, peace is the only door that will give us victory and progress as a nation.
The Addo constituency has once again featured in the list of flashpoints by the security services. But Citi News' Ayikwe Okain reports that the constituents are ready to commit to peace ahead of the December polls.
This is the Addo constituency with 7 electoral areas, including Modo, Milichagono, Kinkan, Kolidido, and Amamomo. Now, over here, it's been classified as a hotspot by the Ghana Police Service. The classification of this area as a flashpoint is due to the series of violent activities that take place here during election period. According to the police, the identification of this area as a flashpoint is to enable them plan strategically to handle any violent clashes that may ensue during the elections. But we are here to find out from the electorate if there could be some underlying reasons for the violent clashes in this area and how it impacts on the elections.
Because spread no vote no can be
she kept begging Banaka, you may have a for you can be in a young situation.
Egbawana, I could lobby, what you call again, she again. He said no more, no, black BP. A plan.
She kept one, I mean, shake politics, JB, no money. Ake, NDC Banye, MPP Banyeba, MPP Banyeba, NDC Banyeba, no be an only few, kept be an any NDC power, mini Ottawa, NDC be a fee, because no get fee. Abaka retaliate. Ni won't be any work bano because politics as a youth causes I don't know politics. I get politics ni.
Odio fight. Onu pa ilu yon put your name ni. Won pa me find out meditation. Hey, I can make a can yes, in Began Cloak on yo. Fenglish Jameson yo. What can you say in the Bashel Nocho? Who won't fight.
So you heard some electorate within the Addo constituency calling for peace ahead of the 2020 polls and also the need for the police to intensify security in the community. Reporting from Leshi around Jamestown in the Addo constituency, I'm Ni Ayikwe Okain for Citi News.
We're now in the Lejokuku constituency, one of the constituencies that is expected to pose a keen contest in the 2020 December polls. Now, under this beautiful almond tree, we've seen some town folk catching some fresh air, and so we want to engage them and pick their thoughts on the December elections. Baba alu nofiano bayano pepepe
obe wo so lo jinu fe no ya no pepepe ske wo nu pa eni yen wo ma no Panyama kwe, Ninibi and Ojubale, Nabakobe. I can't giddy about me no Jimena Maganagan Ababa. Amami Yenagan, Bemena Chonagan, Vigilantes group can be a fan on a Jimena group on a Gagome fan about man.
Please be a Utaoni Obana, a police station, low few.
Come over, I get police be about few pet Nibula inch. Many bulle buying me, J. Many by Fate Apache, and by you Swametry. Many bulle buying me, few Tafrache. I go okay on a police ego no nago, police be in Nakani, Bopo or Temti. Ska police were a fappy, Beban man be a fappy. Ska police were for a man be about police were a Jenogona.
So behind me, under the almond tree, I see a card game ongoing, so I'm going to join them there. See if I can enjoy the game as well, and then pick their thoughts on the upcoming elections. Boss, so the election they come, how you see them?
Two. The election, from my view, I think it's going to be very tension will be in the election, very sure. Come 27th December, the election is not going to be something easy.
So the tension they talk about, it scare you so.
Oh, I'm not afraid, and it is not even scaring me.
But the card game, you know, you people play the take show for here.
Oh, today I'm not going to work, so I'm just passing time with my friends over here.
Now, what how you say you do the election will be peaceful way, and then going forward the country will be peaceful?
We know come 7th December, all the world is looking forward to Ghana, because we know Ghana is a peaceful country. We don't know what can come. No one's know anyone's mind, and we don't know what can happen during December 7th. So, to my opinion, it is the security agencies that has to ensure and maintain the peace and order. That anyone that comes to the police station with any bad or anything that is not contrary to what the Electoral Commission is being mandated to conduct the election, that person must be arrested or must be sacked from the police station so that we can have peaceful election.
Okay. So it looks like I'm losing out on the game. But these are the opinions of the youth here at Lejo Kuku, telling us what they think about the upcoming elections and what can be done to ensure peace at the end of the day. Yes, so I think this is going to be my last game. Let's see if I can win this one. Yeah, so obviously I won that one. We're so grateful to you guys. Thank you so much for your time. So yes, these are their thoughts, telling us what they think can be done to ensure a peaceful election come December 7. Let's cross over to some other regions to gauge the sentiments, the mood there with respect to the various flashpoints identified by the Ghana Police Service.
The shooting incident at the Steps to Christ Registration Center, where the incumbent MP for Ewutu Senya East, Mavis Hawa Kumsen, allegedly fired gunshots in self-defense over a supposed attack by some NDC members, became one of the major talking points during the voter registration exercise by the Electoral Commission. Aside from that, there were a series of violent incidents in the constituency that has become known as a hotspot in the central region and now listed as part of the 4,098 flashpoints identified by the Ghana Police Service ahead of the December elections. But key stakeholders in the two major parties have resolved to commit to peace.
I think that government and the MPP government and the MPP party and the police are the ones that have failed the Ewutu East constituency, because most often this aggression has come from the MPP.
We, the New Patriotic Party, in that regard, MPP in Ewutu East is doing everything possible to make sure this election becomes peaceful. We have put in every measures that we need to put in place.
Some supporters of the two major parties spoke about the need for a peaceful process on December 7.
We are here for peace because I also drive the pickup. the branded pickup for NDC. I've been using it. So wherever I go, myself, I'm not safe.
Kaswa, even nowadays, we the youth, we have even started visiting ourselves by according to election areas. We used to play football together. So we the youth, I don't think when it is time for us to do the right thing, we do the bad thing. No.
Some constituents spoke about the tagging of the constituency as one of the flashpoints going into this year's polls.
It's a call in the right direction. Now the police have identified these hotspots that they are calling for desperate measures to solve this. And as a peace ambassador that resides in Odu East, I think it is good.
Let's take you to Parliament now, where the Minority Leader, Haruna Idrisu, has asked the Speaker of Parliament to cite the chairperson of the Electoral Commission, Jean Mensah, for contempt. According to him, the failure of the Commission's chairperson to appear before the House to brief members on their state of preparedness for the 2020 polls is profoundly disappointing. The Tamale South MP made these remarks during a special sit-in with state institutions on matters relating to the 2020 polls. Parliamentary correspondent Duke Mensah Opoku has more.
The National Security Minister, Inspector General of Police, NCCA, the National Media Commission, civil society organizations, among others, appeared before the House to brief members on their state of preparedness for election 2020. However, officials of the Electoral Commission could not honor the invitation. The Minority Leader described the situation as profoundly disappointing.
I should express my profound disappointment in the inability of the chairperson of the Electoral Commission or any of her deputies or any other member or management of our electoral process from not participating in this exercise that were duly notified that she would be here, and probably she must give reason to Mr. Speaker and Mr. Chairman why she should not be cited for contempt.
The Majority Leader Osei Mensah provided a justification for the Electoral Commission's absence.
I gave indication to her that Saturday in the morning, because we are adjourning Saturday in the morning before we commence, she should be here together with her team. That's to brief us. So that's, I've not shared the information with the Minority Leader. There's a reason why I was not comfortable even disclosing it. That's what I was just discussing with her. That certainly she has to be here.
In relation to happenings at the sit-in, the Minister for National Security, Albert Kandapah, bemoaned the politicization of matters of security.
This false notion of insecurity stems from the deliberate politicization of issues of national security in the country. And I think it has become more pronounced as we approach the 2020 presidential and parliamentary elections. An assessment of recent developments in the political space reveals that the false notion of insecurity is fueled by some politicians. These politicians at one moment openly threaten violence should they lose the elections, and at another express concern about rising insecurity in the country. And I think, Mr. Speaker, this is unacceptable and must be condemned in no uncertain terms, irrespective of where it is coming from.
Speaking on behalf of the military, Brigadier General Emmanuel Kotia urged Parliament to play its role in safeguarding the peace and security of the country.
Safeguarding our peace and stability is very cardinal at this stage. It is important for us to cooperate with the security agencies to be able to address any possible mishaps during election. It's also important for us to get a better understanding so far as issue is concerned. And I think that Parliament should consider looking at the various loopholes, addressing it, and Parliament itself should be actors of peace so far as the elections are concerned.
The Inspector General of Police, James Opombwenu, called on political parties to commit to peace ahead of the 2020 polls.
We urge that all stakeholders must cooperate with us, and then the Speaker, respectfully request our political parties to commit to peaceful election 2020. Ghana is the only country we have, and therefore we must do everything in our power to ensure that we have a peaceful election.
The chairperson of the National Commission on Civic Education, Josephine Nkrumah, said the number of candidates on the ballot for this year's election could increase the number of spoiled or rejected ballots.
For the NCC, the issue of rejected ballots is not just a matter of waste of public resources, but it goes to the critical and fundamental issue of having peaceful elections. And so we are going to be speaking with the EC to fashion out a uniform and standard messaging when it comes to reducing rejected ballots.
Meanwhile, the Electoral Commission has denied reports that it snubbed the invitation by Parliament to present its roadmap on the elections. According to the Commission, it received the invitation after office hours on Wednesday, when some of its members were out of town. In a press release cited by Citi News, the EC stressed that its chair, Madame Jean Mensah, has never turned down an invitation to appear in Parliament. The Electoral Commission, however, added that it was prepared to let the House in on its plans on Saturday, November 7. Away from that, the Progressive People's Party, the PPP, is calling the president to dismiss the Finance Minister, Ken Ofori-Atta, over alleged acts of corruption in the controversial Ejapa royalties deal. The PPP alleges that the Finance Minister engaged in conflict of interest, bid rigging and violated procurement rules in his attempt to transfer Ghana's mineral royalties into private hands under the guise of creating value for natural resources. Speaking to journalists in Accra, the vice presidential candidate of the PPP, Kofi Asamoah-Sian, says Ken Ofori-Atta abused his position for personal gains, hence their call for his dismissal.
From the report, it is evident that the finance minister exploited and abused his position for private gain. The Honorable Ken Ofori-Atta needs to take a long look in the mirror. For the good of our country, our democracy, our future, and his family's reputation, he must do what honorable men do. He needs to go home now. Why is the president keeping the finance minister at post? We were dazed, devastated, speechless when we read the press release from the Jubilee House, which stated that, quote, the president has directed the finance minister to resubmit the Ejapa agreement to Parliament for the approval process to start all over again, unquote. The president must not give us any impression to believe that he is compromised by family ties in dismissing the finance minister. He must not hide behind the smoke screen of Parliament to divert attention from this stinky Ejapa deal. The oath he swore to defend the Constitution and the best interests of Ghana must be his top priority. If the finance minister refuses to resign, the president must revoke his appointment. Given these recent corrupt happenings, our question is, does the Tuffour administration and the trusted man, Mr. Ken Ofori-Atta, have the moral right to collapse businesses of Ghanaian entrepreneurs?
This is still the Citi Newsroom, and this is the Election Bureau. We're taking a quick break here. When we return, the Western Regional NDC says it is determined to win the region for the NDC come December 7 and indicates that no amount of intimidation or attacks against its parliamentary candidates will deter them.
We have the details coming up after this break. Do stay.
Rigworld Solutions, forging the frameworks of Ghanaian industry. Engineering solutions from the heart of Takrade, Kejebil. At Rigworld Solutions, we manufacture industrial bolts and nuts, fasteners, hoses and fittings for the extractive and petrochemical industries. World-class products with local expertise. Locate our factory in Kejebil off the Takrady Takwa Road. Call 0302 949917 or 0540 107504. Email enquiries at rigworldsolutions.com. Rigworld Solutions, crafted in Ghana, engineered for the world.
You've come a long way from where you started, and in that time, you've upgraded a lot. But have you upgraded your entertainment? When you upgrade to Go TV Max, everyone gets an upgrade. Football fans can up their game with La Liga and get all new action with the NBA and NFL on a brand new channel, ESPN. The kids will go crazy for the most popular kids shows, and family night is sorted with blockbuster movies on TNT. Plus, our local celebrities will keep you connected to your continent, while our general entertainment channels will take you international. There's a whole lot for the whole family when you upgrade to Go TV Max. So make the move today and give your family an upgrade they'll love. Go TV. Live it, love it.
Since 2017, a new dawn is breaking in Ghana. The NPP is building the foundations for growth and transformation. We are curbing unemployment with new and decent jobs.
Thanks to Nana, I've got a new job through NAPCO. That is why I'm voting for him as the MPP.
The promise of free SHS is now a reality.
Through education, I have a brighter future. That's why I'm voting for Nana and the MPP.
The future of our country is in the hands of a competent leader, a man you can trust.
I trust Nana.
This December, let's protect our progress. Let's give Nana 4 more to do more for you.
2020, 4 more for Nana. 2020, 2020,
I give my family confidence with Pepsodent Triple Protection 123. It's 3 toothpaste in 1 to give them cavity protection, white teeth, and fresh breath. Pepsodent Triple Protection 123.
Thank you, sir. Hello, my name is Samuel Ofori, a film actor and a film director. Because of the nature of my job, the taste for quality things is endless. Quality phones, quality laptops, quality TV sets. Let me show you my secret. Here is Franco Trading Enterprise. My secret for quality laptops, quality phones, quality TV sets, accessories, come on, external hard drive, pen drive, name it. For bulk purchase and retails, come to Franco Trading Enterprise. They'll reduce the price for you. Franco Trading Enterprise. Home quality.
Constant yawning, heavy eyelids, blurred vision, and veering off the road are some of the signs that you are falling asleep while driving. This is driver fatigue. Always stop when tired. In Ghana, by law, after 4 hours of continuous driving, drivers should take a mandatory 30 minutes rest. Whilst resting, avoid heavy food, alcohol, and drugs. Even some medication can impair your driving. A driver can then drive for another 4 hours in that day. For long distances, share the drive. Avoid driver fatigue by getting a good sleep before trips. Don't drive tired. Stop road crashes now. Stay alive.
This road safety education is brought to you by the National Road Safety Authority.
You will come back. Now, the Western Regional Branch of the National Democratic Congress says no amount of intimidation or attacks against its parliamentary candidates or the party in general will hinder its determination to win the region for the NDC come December 7.
Well, the comment, which was made by the NDC's Regional Secretary Joe Nelson at a press conference at Wase Kropong, follows an alleged attempted murder on the party's parliamentary candidate for Amenfi East, Nicholas Amankwa, at his residence. Well, the following report has more.
Flanked by the chairman of the Western Regional NDC, Nana Toku, and other executives during a press conference at Wasa Ikupong, the regional secretary Joe Nelson, while narrating how the incident happened, called on the police to immediately investigate the attack and arrest one of the two attackers who is still on the run.
The NDC is horrified by this incident because this is alien to the Western region. And so we strongly urge the police to expedite action on it and get all those involved arrested to face the full effect of the law.
The Western Regional Secretary of the NDC, who described the incident as politically motivated, however condemned the attempts by some people claiming the arrested suspect by the police is deranged. He added that the party will win the elections in the region with or without attacks.
We are of the view that this was politically motivated, and our reasons are not far-fetched. The number one reason is that our parliamentary candidate, Honorable Nicholas Amankwa, is winning the seat from the NPP. The second is that since the incident, we have observed the frantic and shameless effort of some leading members of the NPP in this constituency to discount the seriousness of this matter, all in an attempt to aid the accused escape justice.
The Amenfi East NDC parliamentary candidate, Nicholas Amankwa, whose house was attacked, said he is only alive by the grace of God, but is demanding for police protection.
Going forward, we are going to take responsibility of our protection. And we are going to take this opportunity to tell our president, they promised to provide Ghanaians with 24/7 security. What is happening in the country is unacceptable. What is happening in the country is making even Amenfi East unsafe to live here.
When Citi News contacted the Asankragwa Police Command of Camera, Inspector William Tete Agbanyo, who is the station officer, confirmed the arrest of one suspect. He says investigations are still underway.
Well, let's still stay with the NDC because its flag bearer, John Dramani Mahama, says the next NDC government will continue to ensure the completion of all stalled projects, particularly roads, which were started under the previous NDC administration. Mr. Mahama also accused the NPP government of failing to implement the recommendations of the commission set up to probe the Ayawaso West Wuogon by-election violence, adding that the NDC will not sit unconcerned for the NPP to repeat such violence in the general elections. The NDC flag bearer spoke at the Ebri Hines Palace to begin a 4-day tour of the Eastern region.
Vigilante asem omna de bay na yenim vigilante wo Ghana see I also West Wogo the vigilante for I share uniform omo share kaka motobi omo kura tu omo tutu the commission of inquiry ko mu e can say wait I was say abang echi omo e bo omo support na see why I also West Wogo yanyo omo training Sandy Penny now omo da so enam April satu no registration says a war nipa second to Okumasi na police ni biti akundem na obi o share of to a person or certain policeman in uniform and yama enyoma as a employee when it comes to democracy and stability. Nana your radio stations 2 XYZ 3 multi XYZ Gold FM they are two in in a country where we must have democracy and free speech. And so we are doing yet they will play by the game because Ghana AMI the person say BBR and she will go ahead and person show about says it won't come from us. And so yes we are international.
Now, the running mate to John Mahama, Professor Nana Jane Opoku-Agyeman, was on Wednesday enskrined Queen of Patience at the Wasipe traditional area. The former education minister was given the title by the paramount chief of the Wasipe traditional area in Busunu, where she paid a courtesy call on the chief as part of a two-day campaign tour of the Savannah region. Citi News' Richard Fogo was on the tour with the NDC running mate and filed this report.
Professor Nana Jane implored residents of the region to return John Mahama and the NDC back to power for the region to develop. She told them it was only the NDC that could develop the country when in power, and called on them to reject the MPP, which she said was a party dividing the country.
We know it's God who selects the king. What we can do is to pray, and we are praying that inshallah, that it becomes God's will, that he brings back the one we know. When he says it, by God's grace, he does it. When he says he will build schools, he builds schools. When he says he will bring water, like water for Damongo, he brings it. When he says he will build, I'll talk about the markets in a minute. When he says he will build markets, he builds markets. When he says he will remove schools from under trees, he removes schools from under trees. And who is that person? It is no other person. That is Excellency John Dramani Mahama.
Professor Jiman rounded up her campaign in Daboya, where she was enskrined Queen Mother with the title Queen of Peace of the Wasipe traditional area.
Work is set to begin on the Boankra Integrated Logistic Terminal after President Tuffour cuts sought for the continuation of the long-abandoned project. The project, which was initiated by the Ghana Shippers Authority and the Ghana Ports and Harbours Authority, is set to create a dry port as an extension to the Tema Port.
While speaking at the sword-cutting ceremony as part of his tour of the Ashanti region, President Akufo-Addo said the project, when completed, will boost trade activities between Ghana and neighboring countries.
The objective of the AFCFTA is to promote trade among African countries, and this will be buoyed by the presence of an effective and efficient transport system, especially as Ghana is playing host to the Secretariat. I'm hopeful that this project and other similar infrastructure projects, such as the development of the Keita Port, the Tema Akosombo Railway Line, the Eastern Line from Tema via Koforidua to Boankra to Kumasi, and the ongoing port expansion projects at Tema and Takrady ports would make a positive contribution in ensuring that Ghana derives maximum benefits from the AFCFTA.
You're still watching the Citi Newsroom on Citi TV. When we come back, we'll bring you updates on the U.S. presidential elections.
Details shortly. Please stay with us.
Ago, I had nowhere to turn to. I needed funds urgently. That's when I ran into Wafakofi. Ah, it's you, Alpha Kofi.
Hello.
It's good I saw you here.
Really?
You know, with businesses restarting after the lockdown, getting funds has been really difficult to pay for some of the goods in high demand, and my supply is no longer selling on credit.
Sister Ma, my financial partner is Advanced Savings and Loans. Advanced stayed by my side all through the COVID crisis. They offered me grace period. They also gave me advice on how to manage my business, and now they are here to help me clear my containers by offering me a loan.
Are you sure they are giving out loans even during the COVID pandemic?
Yes, Advanced Ghana has you covered.
So that's how I got a loan to stock up my shop.
Call us on 0800 355 355 or visit our nearest branch for our various loan and deposit products. Advance, your preferred financial partner.
Hi, my name is Salamatu. Yes, these are both me. You see, before free SHS, my life could have taken two very different paths. The SHS path depended on how much money my parents had, what sacrifices they were willing to make, and whether they would send me or my little brother Issa to SHS. The other path is what would have become of me if there was no free SHS. But today, thanks to free SHS, my future is bright and promising.
Congratulations, you have a name.
It's a boy.
Instead of depending on others, I will stand on my own feet and help my family. Free SHS is where my dreams for a better future and the dreams of thousands of young girls become a reality. Don't let NDC take it away from us. Vote for NPP and give all Ghanaian girls a chance for a better future.
Yeah, if you win, no one win like that's planet. My baby, oh, you know.
Sunana Abdul Last week, I received a message from Bet Planet. Come on, now win golden ticket. Nadanje Jin Saya, my Mercedes Benz. Omba Kuyadama Kuma, Gashina, Gasuna Nakai. Ongera Gora Come on Gaskiani. Mona Sunchi, now go to Bet Planet. Now go to Mokua.
Yeah, if you win, no one win like Bet Planet. My baby, oh, you know. If you win, no one win like.
Looking for something new this November? Looking for star-studded suspense?
It's what rich, entitled people do when threatened. They conceal the ugly truths to protect themselves.
Maybe you're in search of true love.
Roses are red, violets are blue. I got a crush on you, baby, would you be my boo?
What about a bit of family drama? Need something to keep the kids entertained?
We're ready to help with the case, Mira. We'll look for clues.
Perhaps criminally good comedy is your thing. Whatever you're in the mood for, look no further than DSTV.
You're welcome back, and let's bring you some more stories. The host of the Citi Breakfast Show and general manager of Citi FM and Citi TV, Bernard Koku Avle, says Ghana must take urgent steps to end all forms of violations of media freedom in the country. Mr. Avle, who is worried about the number of attacks on media practitioners at a time that Ghana has enacted laws to safeguard media freedom, says available data shows that security agencies are the worst culprits when it comes to attacks on media practitioners. He was speaking at the 16th Krontine Akwemu lecture on the topic, Radio, Rulers and the Ruled in the Fourth Republic.
The repeal of the criminal libel law in 2001 was great in this regard. Parliament has also passed the Right to Information Law. This is great. It's awaiting implementation. Now, while these laws exist on paper, it appears the attacks against journalists is rather going up. The promulgation of these laws do not seem to have guaranteed the freedom and safety for us to do our work. Data from the Media Foundation for West Africa reveals a worrying increase in the number of attacks against media practitioners and media houses. According to their research, there have been 72 incidents of media freedom violations in Ghana between January 2016 and end of October 2020. These include physical assault, arrest, detention, seizure and damage of equipment, and with the lowest point being the killing of a member of the Anas Arimeyao Anas Tiger Eye team, Ahmed Swale, the murder of Ahmed Swale in 2019. The paradox here is that while we appear to be moving towards better quality laws around media freedom, the safety of journalists is on the decline. What makes matters worse is that of the 72 violations, 30 or about 41% of these violations were committed by security agencies. The agents of state paid with our money to protect us are the biggest culprits in attacking journalists.
Now, it's been 2 days since the close of polls in the United States, but the country is yet to declare a winner. Meanwhile, the competition has come down to a few key states. To help us delve into the dynamics is Head of Research here at Citi FM and Citi TV, Nathan Hwao. Thanks for joining us on the Citi Newsroom, Nathan. So let's start with some of the key states, Georgia and Pennsylvania.
Well, like you mentioned, not a lot is known in terms of who's winning and who's doing what. If you go to Georgia, for example, you had a gap that was very wide 2 days ago, about a day ago. That gap has been, diminished, very narrow now. You have Trump in the lead. Joe Biden is eating into that gap, and there are so many counties or so many votes that are yet to be counted. And just before I came on, I was following a press briefing that stated that it will take a few more days for these things to be made clear. If you go to Pennsylvania, they are still counting. The lead is very narrow. Trump was in the lead. Biden is eating into that. Some people seem to believe that Biden will overtake. Now, if Biden overtakes, and should that happen, it's more or less game over, really, for Donald Trump. But they are still counting in other states. Wisconsin is still happening, Georgia, Michigan, Nevada, and Arizona. And
now, there are lots of permutations around this.
Yes.
So just walk us through how many more does Biden need to go to the White House, and what about President Trump?
Okay, now, depending on your data source, so some portals have Joe Biden at 264. If that's the case, then he needs 6 more electoral college votes to get to the magical 270 number. Some people have him at 253, while they have Trump at about 214. Now, for Joe Biden to win, he will need to, for him to cross the line, he will need to win a mix of states, either Arizona or North Carolina together, or Nevada or Georgia together, or any of the 4, or any 2 of the 4 that I've mentioned. Now, if he doesn't win any of that, then he has to win Pennsylvania, which will give him about 20 electoral college votes, and he's over the line. For Donald Trump, it's a bit of a tricky one. He has to win 3 of Arizona, North Carolina, Nevada, or Georgia, and Pennsylvania. Wow. Looking at how much ground he has to make up. So he has a lot of work to do. Is it possible? Mathematically, it is possible. Can it happen? Yes, if the votes go his way. But if you follow the projections, a lot of the portals and media people seem to think that Joe Biden is gradually creeping slowly, and he's getting to that magical 270 mark that will get him into the White House.
Okay, we know that he's been to court, and
yes.
what has been the outcome of some of these things?
Well, if you go to Michigan, for example, President Trump filed a court case or a lawsuit against some of the ballots and counting. That lawsuit was thrown out very quickly. The court stated a number of reasons. Top of the list was that the lawsuit was even addressed to the wrong person. So even on the basis of that, the court just dismissed that. Now, if you follow, they are trying to get other things, other court cases, other lawsuits happening. We'll see how that one plays out. But something interesting happened on social media. Now, a group was calling for civil war and violence in the event that Trump doesn't win, and Facebook quickly pulled the page down and brought some sanity onto that space. So it just tells you that a lot of people are following the possibility of a legal battle is there. Both Biden's legal team and Trump's legal team are putting their arguments together. Should they get there, they're also looking at the chance of recounts. Now, a recount will happen if the difference is about 0.1% or so. So they are still looking at that. Those options are available, but it looks like those legal routes may not yield much. And the experts are saying they can only change about 100 votes or a few hundreds here and there. And it may not have a huge impact on the overall result. Should we get one today, tomorrow, whatever, whenever that happens. But it looks like those court cases may not yield much to help Donald Trump.
All right, thank you very much. That was Nathan Kwawa, head of research at Citi FM and Citi TV. This is your election bureau, and we're bringing an update on the U.S. election as well as happenings in Ghana. That'll be all on the Citi Newsroom. Our website, citinewsroom.com, has more information on our top stories and more.
Subscribe to Citi Tube on YouTube for more exclusive video content from Citi TV.
Download the Citi Newsroom app from the Google Play Store or the App Store and keep updated on the go.
You can also watch Citi TV on DSTV channel 363 and on GoTV channel 182.
My name is Zoe Abu-Baidoo Addo.
Mine is Nana Tuffour Boateng. Many thanks for watching.